Hello everyone, let's start our practice today from a seated position. Come into all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Tuck in your toes. Deep inhale, expand your chest, look up. Exhale, look down, curl up your spine. Inhale, expand your chest, tailbones up. Exhale, curl up, look down. Deep inhale, expanding your chest, look up. Exhale, curl up, push with your arms. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And from here, let's push to downward facing dog. Point your tailbone to the sky. Inhale, raise your heels up. And exhale, heels on the floor. From here, let's inhale and bring your right leg and left leg in the front of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your feet hips width distance. Let's do a twist on your right side. Raise your right arm up. Bend your left knee. Deep inhale and exhale. Switch to the other side. Right arm on the ground. Raise your left arm up and twist. Bend into your right knee. Open up your shoulders. And now let's do a gentle forward folding. Hold on to your opposite elbows. Swing left to right, right to left. You can bend your knees a little bit. Lengthen your lower back. And from there, let's come up one vertebra at a time into a standing position in the front of your mat with your feet together. Let's start doing our Surya Namaskar. Inhale, hands up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. From there, inhale, come into high plank. Exhale, drop your knees, chest, and chin down. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg in between your palms, drop your left knee, raise your arms up. Exhale, hands down, and step your left leg in front, fold forward, exhale. Inhale, come up, hands up. Slight backward bend if you like. And exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, this time let's put our left leg back. Drop your left knee, raise your arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands down, push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg in between your palms, drop your right knee, hands up, low lunge. Exhale, hands down, and step forward, fold. Inhale, slowly come up, and slight backward bend. Exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, hands up, look back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, right leg back. Raise your arms up, high lunge. Keep your hips squared, back leg straight and forceful. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Point your tailbone to the sky. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg in between your palms. Raise your arms up, high lunge. Push your left hip forward, right hip back. Square your hips. Exhale, hands down, step forward, fold. And inhale, hands up, look back. Backward bending. Exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale left leg back. Raise your arms up. High lunge. Bring your left hip forward, right hip back. Exhale, hands down. Push back to downward facing dog. And inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg in between your palms. Raise your arms up, high lunge. And exhale, hands down, step forward and fold. Inhale, raise your arms up. And the backward bend. Exhale, hands in prayer. Take one deep breath here. Deep inhale, hands up. Come into a backward bending, push your hips forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, both legs step back into downward facing dog. From here, come into a straight leg dog. Raise your right leg up. Bending to a right knee. Open up your hips. And then from there, shift your left hand to 45 degrees and flip your dog. And if you can come into a wheel pose. If not, keep your right arm up and slowly push back up into a straight leg dog. And inhale, bring your right leg in between your palms and drop your left knee down. And let's come into half split. Square your hips, left hip forward and right hip backwards, and keep your front knee straight. You can stay there or you can come into a foot split if that feels comfortable. It's completely fine not to do that. Just do half split, whatever makes you comfortable. And slowly let's push back to a downward facing dog position. And from there, inhale, gonna raise our left leg up and come into a straight leg dog. Bend into your left knee, open up your hips. And from there, rotate your right hand and flip your dog. If you can also come all the way to a wheel pose. And just come back into a straight leg dog with your left leg up. Now place your left leg in between your palms. Drop your back knee, straighten your front leg. Half split. Really try to square your hips here, and that makes you feel to stretch your hamstring. And if you feel very comfortable, you can come into a full split. Whatever works for you. Stay deep, inhale and exhale. And now let's come back to a downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog and raise your tailbones more to the sky and push your shoulders down to the floor. Now from there, let's jump to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Now we can grab our hands to the back of our legs to give us a deeper stretch there. And slowly inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down. Now we step in front of our mat. Inhale, hands up, interlace our fingers, release index finger, and bend to your right side. And switch side to the left. Keep stretching on the side of your body. Inhale, come up and switch to the right. Keep breathing there and come back up. Exhale, switching to the left. And slowly come back and release your hands. From there, we take one deep breath and inhale, hands up. Really backward bending. Exhale, hands down. Fold forward. exhale, right leg back. Place your right heels down, come into warrior one. And exhale, let's transition from a warrior one to a warrior two. And drop your left hand down, raise your right hand up, side angle pose. And from there, you can choose to interlace your fingers or just stay in the side angle pose. Place your hands down, push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg in between your palms. Place your left heel down on the floor, raise your arms up, warrior one, heel to heel alignment. Now we can transition into warrior two with heel to arch alignment. And drop your right hand down, come into a side angle pose, or you can interlace your hands for binded pose. And slowly both hands on the floor, push back to down dog. Now inhale, left leg in between your hands. Raise your right leg all the way up to the standing split pose. And from there, let's put our left hand a few inches in front of our left foot and come up to half moon pose and raise your right leg all the way up and square your hips on top of each other. Now from there, let's go back to three leg dog. Raise your left leg up and keep your left leg up, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's try the other side. Place your right leg in between your palms and raise your left leg all the way up to standing split pose. And from there, place your right hand a few inches in front of your right foot and place your right hip on top of your left hip, opening up to half moon pose. You can try to look up if you feel the balance is good, otherwise look down. Now place both of your hands down and switch your right leg up to downward facing dog, three leg dog. Keep your right leg up, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And keep a few breaths in the down dog pose. And from there, jump to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up with a backward bend. And inhale, hands in prayer. Take 2 breaths here. Now we're going to come into a squatting position with your legs slightly open and your foot slightly open as well, and hands in prayer. Let's try to do crow pose. So place your hands in front, a few inches in front of your feet, and raise your hips up. So slowly shift your weight all the way to your hand. You can raise one leg at a time. Look forward, a few inches forward on front of your mat. And stay there in the crow pose. You can just raise the opposite leg if you have one leg up. Now slowly come back to the squatting position again. Take a few breaths here. And now sit in the middle of your mat, and we're going to try to do some core exercise. Come into a boat pose. You can balance on your hips with your legs relatively straight. And slowly you can come into a low boat pose, low namasana. Make sure your sacrum is on the floor. You're really engaging your core. And engaging your legs, stay there. Keep breathing. And slowly relax and lie on the floor. And now we can place our feet closer to our buttocks. Come into a bridge pose with your hands underneath your lower back to support yourself. And keep hugging in your legs. And from there, if you're comfortable, you can switch your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up to a wheel pose. Otherwise, just stay in bridge pose. When you're in your wheel pose, make sure that you push your center of gravity more to your hands. And slowly come down, butterfly legs. Take a few breaths here. Keep your eyes closed. Now we're going to do a few more rounds of the bridge or the wheel pose if that's for you today. Place your hands underneath your shoulders if you're doing wheel pose, and from there slowly push all the way up. And this time let's try to walk your hands slightly closer to your feet and your feet slightly closer to your hands. Push your chest more out, and once you had enough, slowly walk out your legs and come down one vertebra at a time into a butterfly leg. Take one breath there, and then hug into your knees and keep your lower back on the floor and swing left to right, right to left to release your lower back, and grab onto your outer edge of your both feet into a happy baby pose. Remember to keep your lower back on the floor, and let's do some twisting to release our lower back to keep your right leg on top of your left eagle leg. Look to your right, keep your right shoulder on the floor, and try to bring your right knee onto the floor. Take a few breaths here. And slowly let's switch to the other side. Left leg on top of the right eagle leg, and drop to your right side and look to your left side. Keep your left shoulder on the floor and try to bring your left knee onto the opposite floor. Take a few breaths here. Keep your eyes closed. And once you had enough, slowly come back to Savasana. Legs are hip width distance, hands facing up, and keep your eyes closed. Stay here for 1 minute. Reach your arms over your head from here and give yourself a big stretch. Inhale, and exhale, turn to your right side, come into fetal position, and use your left hand to push yourself back up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed, hands in prayer. Take a deep inhale, exhale. Another inhale, exhale. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.